Tensions rise in the young and the restless as the tangled web of deception surrounding Claire unravels. With secrets threatening to shatter long-held alliances, Summer and Kyle find themselves at the heart of a storm, one that could change their lives forever. But just when they need it most, an unexpected ally emerges, Allie. Her determination to expose Claire's DNA secret may be the key to setting Kyle free from a past filled with manipulation and lies. A bond strengthened by truth. Summer and Kyle have fought through countless obstacles, but Claire's presence has been a lingering shadow over their happiness. As suspicions mount, Summer refuses to let Claire's deception go unchecked. She knows that something about Claire doesn't add up, and when whispers of a hidden past begin to surface, her instincts tell her to dig deeper. Enter Allie, Kyle's granddaughter, a force to be reckoned with in her own right. Having witnessed Claire's manipulative ways, she reaches out to Summer with shocking news. "I know what she's hiding," Allie confesses, her voice filled with urgency. "Claire's past isn't what she claims it to be, and I have proof that could change everything." The revelation that shakes Genoa City. Determined to uncover the truth, Allie joins forces with Summer and Kyle, setting in motion a series of events that will expose Claire's biggest secret yet, her true DNA origins. The evidence is damning, and as they dig deeper, they uncover ties that Claire has desperately tried to keep buried. It turns out that Claire's entire identity is built on deception. The revelation sends shockwaves through Genoa City, forcing Claire into a corner. Her carefully constructed world begins to crumble as those she once manipulated turn against her. She had worked tirelessly to gain Kyle's trust, but with Allie now in the picture, her influence is slipping through her fingers. Claire's last desperate attempt. Realizing that her secrets are no longer safe, Claire becomes more dangerous than ever. She tries to manipulate Allie, hoping to silence her before the truth spreads. "You don't understand what you're doing," Claire pleads, her voice laced with desperation. "If this comes out, it won't just destroy me, it will change everything for Kyle, for Summer, for everyone." But Allie isn't swayed. "Kyle deserves the truth," she responds firmly. "I won't let him be controlled by lies any longer." Claire, sensing that she's losing control, takes a darker turn. She issues a chilling warning. "If you expose me, you'll regret it." But Allie, Summer, and Kyle refuse to back down. The showdown that changes everything. The final confrontation takes place in an emotional, high-stakes moment that has all of Genoa City on edge. Claire, backed into a corner, lashes out in one last attempt to salvage her place in Kyle's life. But it's too late. The truth is out, and Kyle finally sees Claire for who she really is. With Claire's deception laid bare, Kyle makes a heartbreaking decision. He severs all ties with her. Summer stands by his side, proving that their love can withstand even the deepest betrayals. Allie, having played a crucial role in exposing the truth, solidifies her place in Kyle's life as a trusted ally. A new beginning for Summer and Kyle. As the dust settles, Kyle and Summer step into a future free from Claire's manipulations. The battle may have been hard-fought, but in the end, love and truth prevail. Claire's reign of deception has ended, and a new chapter begins for those she once sought to control. But in Genoa City, secrets have a way of resurfacing. Could Claire be plotting a comeback? One thing's for sure. This isn't the last time betrayal will shake the young and the restless. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. In the depths of a dimly lit basement, long-buried secrets rise to the surface, threatening to change everything. Audra, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination, faces the man she once loved, Holden. Their shared past, once filled with passion and promise, now lingers between them as a bitter reminder of what was lost. But this confrontation is about more than their broken relationship. It's about their son, a child whose existence has remained hidden in the shadows for far too long. Years ago, Audra and Holden were inseparable, their love burning brightly against the chaos of their lives. They built dreams together, believing nothing could tear them apart. But as ambitions clashed and priorities shifted, their bond fractured, leaving behind a bitter custody battle that neither could truly win. To protect her son from the turbulence of their fractured past, Audra allowed him to be raised by her family, far from the reach of his father. Yet Holden never stopped yearning to reclaim what he believed was rightfully his, a chance to be a father, a role he felt had been unjustly stripped away. Now in the cold, damp confines of the basement, Holden delivers an ultimatum that sends shockwaves through Audra's already fragile world. He threatens to expose the truth, to reveal to Nate, a powerful and influential figure, the secrets that Audra has fought so hard to keep buried. The weight of his words is suffocating. If he follows through, everything Audra has built, the life she has carefully constructed to protect her son, will come crashing down. Audra pleads with him, her voice barely a whisper as she tries to reason with the man who once held her heart. "This isn't just about us," she implores. "There are forces at play far bigger than our past. If you expose the truth, you won't just destroy me. You'll destroy everything we've tried to build." But Holden, his gaze unwavering, refuses to back down. He is determined to reclaim his place in his son's life, no matter the cost. The tension between them is thick, a battle of wills that could have devastating consequences. For Holden, revealing the truth is a matter of justice, a chance to set things right after years of being cast aside. For Audra, secrecy is the only thing keeping them all safe. With Nate's influence looming over them, the stakes couldn't be higher. If he learns the truth, a chain reaction of betrayal and power plays will be set into motion, one that neither Audra nor Holden may be able to control. As their heated exchange escalates, it becomes clear that this is not just a fight over parental rights. It is a struggle for control, for redemption, and for a future that hangs by a thread. Outside the basement, the world remains oblivious to the storm brewing beneath its surface. But within these concrete walls, a battle rages, one that could change the course of their lives forever. Will Audra find a way to keep her secrets hidden, or will Holden's desperation to reclaim his son shatter the delicate balance of power? The answer lies in the next shocking chapter of The Young and the Restless. Actress Courtney Hope is known for her work on soaps. Most notably, a few years back, she joined the cast of The Young and the Restless. Recently, Hope has become the subject of rumors that she might be leaving Genoa City. Since then, the actress herself has opened up about the rumors. Courtney Hope has played Sally Spectra on 2 soaps. In 2017, Hope joined the cast of The Bold and the Beautiful as Sally Spectra. By 2020, however, the character crossed over into The Young and the Restless, bringing Hope with her. Hope would remain in the role for years following the transition. However, recently, the actress became the subject of rumors claiming her time on the soap is coming to an end. On January 26, Hope shared an Instagram story concerning the rumors. In the post, she included a screenshot from an Instagram account claiming to be a news site for the soap. Hope noted the responsibility she feels for her fans. As seen in the post, a teaser read, Courtney Hope says goodbye to Y&R. A new chapter awaits for the beloved star. For her part, Hope wrote in the caption, "This is not true, and it really is infuriating when people put out false news just to get a reaction out of the fans. I'm not leaving, I'm not taking a break, no such thing has been uttered." Deplorable clickbait. At this time, it is believed that the original Instagram post is still online. Hope herself took to the comments, sharing, "I have absolutely no idea where you're getting your information." She continued, "I would really appreciate you stopping the spread of misinformation. You're getting people worked out for no reason." As noted by SoapHub, Hope acknowledged that this was not my first go-round with false narratives. She noted she's become used to such stories. However, she felt, I have a problem with preying on people's emotions, suggesting this was not really about her. The actress continued, you know, we at The Young and the Restless work really hard to make sure our fan base is valued and seen and heard. And I have a problem when somebody takes that value system of us and uses it for their own self-satisfaction and their own gratification for clickbait, for boosting their own presence. She added, it's gross and I feel a responsibility to my fans, to The Young and the Restless fans to make sure they have the correct information. Victor Newman has been part of The Young and the Restless for over 4 decades. In fact, some fans think he has become the central part of the soap. However, some fans suspect the character might soon be leaving Genoa City. This notably follows real-life events impacting Victor's actor, Eric Braeden. Eric Braeden has been Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless for over 40 years. Eric Braeden has consistently played the character since 1980. Originally intended as a guest character, Victor would go on to become a regular cast member, if not one of the main male characters on the soap. After coming to Genoa City, Victor would develop Newman Enterprises. Throughout the years, he would serve as a villain, but would also show a loving and protective side. Victor would also have multiple romances on the soap, which brought about quite a few marriages. Viewers have seen the character on the soap for over 40 years. However, some fans are starting to worry that they might soon be seeing the last of the character. Taking to Reddit, one fan asked, concerning Victor, is this the long farewell? They continued, Victor, lots of heavy emotions happening. Is this the final road for him? Fans think recent events will either inspire Braeden to retire or spur him on to keep working. While 40 years would already be a long time for someone to play a character, many fans were concerned about recent events impacting Victor's actor, Eric Braeden. Braeden recently lost his home in the recent Los Angeles wildfires. Before being evacuated, he was able to record at least 2 videos of the fire from his own backyard. As previously reported, Braeden's tearful return to the site of his destroyed home was later featured on Entertainment Tonight. At the time, he shared, "It's such a feeling of loss. Indescribable. It leaves you totally disoriented." Many fans shared comments on the Reddit post, where they noted they would understand if Braeden wanted to leave the soap. Some also felt it was a natural progression to see Victor leave the soap. However, others felt what happened to Braeden may motivate him to keep working. These comments included, "He's had a rough year or so. Joint replacement, cancer, and to top it all off, lost his home to a wildfire. I think that would be a good thing. Let him have a great swan song. It's better than when a character passes away off screen and isn't given a proper send-off." He said in an interview somewhere he won't leave till he's gone, like forever. Half the focus of a job keeps people going through difficult situations. It's realistic for the show to explore the end of Victor. To be clear, Victor is the star of the show. He is Y&R, I love him and Braeden. So a salute to him. There will never be another Eric Braeden or Victor Newman. For me, exploring his end simply means setting up the hairs and letting Victor groom them while he can, which can hopefully be years. Do you think Victor Newman might soon be leaving Genoa City on The Young and the Restless? The weight of resentment, the light of reconciliation. For years, Damien carried a deep resentment toward his mother, Amy, believing she had failed him. His bitterness became a prison, keeping him from happiness. Nate, his older brother, saw things differently. He believed in forgiveness and worked tirelessly to reunite their broken family. Why hold on to anger when we could be healing together? Nate often asked. Damien, however, was trapped in the past, convinced his pain was justified. But just as hope for reconciliation began to flicker, tragedy struck. Amy passed away unexpectedly. Her death shattered the fragile balance of their family, leaving behind silence, regret, and the unbearable truth that time had run out. Damien, once so sure of his anger, was now left with only grief. Amy's final words. Amidst the sorrow, Nate and Damien discovered a letter Amy had left behind. With trembling hands, Damien unfolded it. "Let go of the anger," she had written. "Only through forgiveness can we truly live. I wish for you to embrace each other and move forward with love." Tears streamed down Damien's face as he realized the truth. His anger had blinded him to his mother's love. In his desire to punish her, he had only hurt himself. A promise between brothers. Nate placed a hand on Damien's shoulder. "I know it hurts," he said, "but we can't let regret consume us. It won't bring her back." Damien's voice was hoarse with emotion. "I wasted so much time hating her, and she was sick. I didn't know." Regret weighed heavily on him, but Nate refused to let it break them. "No more grudges, Damien. We're brothers. That's what matters now." For the first time, Damien met Nate's gaze, and in his eyes was something new, perhaps exhaustion, perhaps acceptance, but maybe hope. Moving forward, Amy's decision to keep her illness a secret was something neither of them would fully understand. But her final words left them with a choice: to remain trapped in the past or to heal. Damien knew he would never get back the lost years, but he could still honor his mother's memory. He could still choose love over resentment. One morning, as they watched the sunrise, Damien took a deep breath. "Okay, let's do this." Nate smiled. Together. And for the first time in a long time, it felt like they were finally moving towards something good. Soap opera star Christian LeBlanc, known for his work on The Young and the Restless, recently shared that he woke up to a state of emergency in New Orleans. The star notably received comments from other various soap opera alumni, including some of his fellow cast members. LeBlanc also made sure to keep fans updated on the situation. Christian LeBlanc returned to New Orleans, where he grew up. LeBlanc is arguably best known for playing Michael Baldwin on The Young and the Restless, first playing the role in 1991. Other soaps he's appeared in include As the World Turns and Guiding Light. While LeBlanc was born in North Carolina, he was raised in New Orleans. Recently, he shared some news while staying in Louisiana. As noted by Soap Central, LeBlanc had recently left Los Angeles after losing his voice to smoke. Since then, he recently woke up to a state of emergency in Louisiana thanks to a snowstorm. LeBlanc shared a variety of posts on Instagram detailing the snow. He noted that the last time it snowed in the area, he was still in high school. As he teased, it took 3 blocks to build a snowman. Sharing, "It's snowing in New Orleans," LeBlanc revealed the snowfall would be the biggest since the 1960s. Taking to the Garden District, the actor made sure to record the falling snow early on before children came out to play in it. The star took part in an Instagram Live with some of his The Young and the Restless cast members. This included Michelle Stafford, Beth Maitland, and K. Eddie Pack. LeBlanc made sure to keep fans updated on the situation. The latter, who plays Cole Howard on the soap, shared, "That is crazy. Enjoy yourself." Another soap opera alum, Bobby Eakes, known for her work on The Bold and The Beautiful and All My Children, also shared, "Crazy. We're getting snow in Savannah tonight. So fun." In one update, LeBlanc shared a photo of the snow-covered landscape, as he noted in the caption, "This was still the start of what was to come." The view of downtown New Orleans. Before SNOWMAGEDEN. During SNOWMAGEDEN. LeBlanc shared a third update which saw his return from a neighborhood walk. He noted that local businesses were still open, including a deli where he just bought bagels. However, he noted he might not be so lucky if the storm continues. It's the end of an era for the young and the restless, as the stunning and talented Zulica Silver bids farewell to Genoa City. After making a lasting impact as Audra Charles, the actress is officially stepping away from the hit soap, leaving fans heartbroken, but not without a grand send-off. A farewell fit for a star. Zuleyka's farewell party was nothing short of spectacular. Hosted at an exclusive Los Angeles venue, the event was filled with Y&R co-stars, dazzling fashion, and heartfelt moments. Those in attendance say the night was filled with laughter, emotional speeches, and a few surprises that had everyone talking. Wearing a breathtaking, figure-hugging gown that turned heads, Zuleyka was the center of attention. Guests shared touching tributes to her time on the show, celebrating her unforgettable performance as Audra Charles, a role that brought plenty of scheming, romance, and drama to Genoa City. Why is she leaving? Fans have been speculating about the reason behind her departure. While some believe it's storyline-driven, others think Zuleyka is moving on to bigger projects in Hollywood. Though she hasn't confirmed her next move, sources say exciting opportunities are on the horizon, and she's ready to take on a whole new challenge. Could a primetime role or a major film be in her future? Co-stars react to her exit. Zuleyka's I&R family didn't hold back their emotions. Co-stars like Michelle Stafford and Melissa Ordway shared heartfelt messages on social media, reminiscing about their time together on set. Even Trevor Street John had fans buzzing when he hinted that Audra's departure might not be permanent. Could she make a comeback in the future? What's next for Audra Charles? With Audra's exit, fans are left wondering how her storyline will wrap up. Will she leave town in dramatic fashion, or could there be a shocking twist that sets the stage for a future return? I&R is known for its unexpected plot twists, so anything is possible. A bittersweet goodbye. As Zulica Silver embarks on her next journey, one thing is certain: her presence on The Young and the Restless will be deeply missed. But if there's one thing soap fans know, it's that goodbyes are never forever. Could we see Audra return down the line? Only time will tell. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman just wrapped up an intense storyline that involved Ian Ward tormenting her with Jordan's help. Now Sharon needs to heal from all the psychological trauma and find a way to move on. Nick Newman was obviously a huge help to Sharon during her ordeal, and even now, he continues to be a strong source of support. It's clear that Nick cares about Sharon and always will, but that doesn't necessarily mean this friendship will turn to love again. Nick honestly hasn't given any indication that he's leaning back in a romantic direction. I&R fans should keep open minds about what the future might hold for Sharon's love life. Nick could easily end up being paired with someone else, which would leave Sharon single for another love interest of her own. Could Sharon and Chance Chancellor get another opportunity at a relationship? It's a possibility to consider since I&R spoilers point to Summer Newman chasing after Kyle again before long. Summer's jealousy over Kyle and Claire Newman's connection will lead to her pursuing her ex again, so Chance may have no choice but to let go. At some point, maybe Sharon and Chance could collide for another hot hookup. Sharon might realize that things are going to stay platonic with Nick, and Chance may determine that he's always been a rebound for Summer. Perhaps Sharon and Chance could fall back into bed together as a result. Chance and Sharon could surrender to some mutual comfort and a familiar attraction. Chance once admitted he could see himself falling in love with Sharon, but she wasn't looking for anything serious at the time. Although Sharon struggled to see a future with Chance, a lot has changed since then. After everything Sharon's been through, she might be more open to embracing possibilities and enjoying everything life has to offer. Sharon might realize she was too quick to push Chance away and reconsider when it comes to a new chapter with him. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon will undergo some romantic updates eventually, so stick with us for more predictions on whether Chance might get good news. Nick paced slowly in the quiet study of the Newman mansion, his mind a storm of questions and unresolved doubts. He had just left a tense conversation with Victor, a conversation that had sown as many seeds of confusion as it had provided answers. The question that gnawed at him, persistent and unyielding, was why Victor had so adamantly prevented Kyle and Summer from being together. "What wrong have they done?" Nick had demanded, his tone a mixture of indignation and genuine concern. Victor's reply was both candid and chilling. Leaning back in his leather chair, his gaze steeled with the weight of years and decisions made in the shadows of power, Victor had said, "Nick, it isn't as simple as right or wrong. There are layers of responsibility and legacy at stake. Kyle and Summer, as individuals, might appear to have done nothing wrong, but their union threatens more than just personal happiness. It unsettles the delicate balance that must be maintained for the sake of our family's future." Nick's heart had sunk at these words. Deep down, he recognized the logic behind Victor's vision, a vision of control, of safeguarding what he believed was the sanctity and stability of the Newman dynasty. And yet, Nick couldn't ignore the bitter taste of injustice that clung to every syllable. "I can see some truth in your words," Nick admitted hesitantly. "But don't you think you're overstepping? They are adults who should be free to choose their own happiness without being pawns in your grand design." The tension in the room had been palpable, a silent chasm filled with conflicting loyalties and half-spoken regrets. Unable to shake the unsettling blend of agreement and discontent that Victor's words had stirred within him, Nick decided he needed guidance, someone who could see both sides of the coin with clarity. That person was his sister, Victoria. Over the years, Victoria had become the unspoken mediator in the family, tirelessly striving to bridge the ever-widening gap between their father's iron will and the individual desires of those caught in the crossfire. Later that evening, as twilight spilled its soft light over the mansion's corridors, Nick found Victoria in the family parlor. Her face, lined with exhaustion and quiet sorrow, told a story of battles fought not with weapons, but with words and weary compromises. "Victoria," Nick began gently, "I need to talk to you about what Father said today regarding Kyle and Summer. I can't help but feel that while some of his points are valid, his methods leave too much to be desired." Victoria's eyes, usually so steady, flickered with the weight of unspoken burdens. "Nick, I'm tired," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "For years, I've been the bridge between my daughter and father. Every time I try to smooth over the rough edges of their relationship, it only deepens the rift. I'm exhausted from playing the mediator, trying to force a connection between a father who believes he knows what's best and a daughter who just wants to live her life." Her words resonated with a profound melancholy, reflecting not only her personal struggles, but also the cumulative toll of years spent reconciling conflicting worlds. Nick nodded, sharing the unvoiced sentiment that perhaps the family's insistence on upholding legacy was slowly eroding the very bonds they claimed to cherish. "I understand, Victoria. I know you're doing your best, but sometimes I wonder if there's a better way, if perhaps we could let people like Kyle and Summer follow their own path without Father's heavy-handed interference." His tone carried both hope and resignation, a yearning for a simpler time when choices were respected, not dictated. As the siblings' conversation lingered in the quiet air, another chapter of familial discord was unfolding under the same roof, a chapter that affected the youngest among them. Connor, a child caught in the crossfire. Hidden away in the less frequented corners of the sprawling estate, Connor observed the constant tumult between Adam and Chelsea with a heavy heart. Their arguments, which once might have been brushed aside as the clashing voices of passionate lovers, had grown into ceaseless conflicts that cast a dark pall over the household. Connor, wise beyond his tender years, yet painfully aware of his own limitations as a child in the midst of adult strife, felt the sting of loneliness with every harsh word and slammed door. He often recalled the days when laughter filled the halls, when family dinners were a time of shared joy rather than battlegrounds of bitter disputes. Now, every attempt at peace was overshadowed by Adam and Chelsea's incessant bickering, a cacophony that left little room for the innocence and happiness Connor so desperately craved. One evening, as shadows lengthened across the polished floors of the family home, Connor found himself alone with his mother. In the hushed quiet of the kitchen, away from the prying eyes and unyielding expectations of the adults, he mustered the courage to speak his truth. "Mom," he began tentatively, his voice a mere whisper laden with both hope and despair, "do you think we can ever go back to the way things were before all this fighting? Sometimes I feel like Adam should leave. It's too much to bear, watching him and Chelsea tear each other apart all the time." His mother's eyes widened with a mix of surprise and sorrow. She understood all too well the relentless cycle of discord that had enveloped their lives. Yet, she also knew that as much as Connor's plea came from a place of genuine pain, it was not a simple matter of sending someone away. "Connor," she replied softly, "I know you're hurting, but sometimes grown-ups have their own battles that we can't fix just by wishing things were different. It might take time for them to find their way back to peace, if that's even possible." Connor's small frame shuddered with the weight of the unsolvable dilemma. He wished with all his heart for a return to the days of warmth and understanding. Yet, he was painfully aware that the complexities of adult relationships were far beyond his reach. The whispered suggestion that Adam should leave echoed in his mind, a desperate hope for an escape from the relentless storm that had engulfed his once happy home. A family at a crossroads. Back in the quiet study, where the seeds of discord had first been sown that day, Nick's mind reeled with the conflicting truths laid before him. Victor's unwavering belief in his own infallibility had always been a source of both admiration and resentment. Nick remembered a time when family meant unconditional support and unbridled love, not the ceaseless negotiations and silent compromises that now defined their interactions. Yet, despite her exhaustion, Victoria clung to a fragile hope that one day a breakthrough might occur. A moment when the walls of resentment and misunderstanding could finally come down, and the family could embrace a new beginning. As the night deepened, each sibling retreated into their own thoughts, acutely aware that the path to peace was littered with obstacles, both seen and unseen. And then, as if on cue, the voices of the past and present converged in a single haunting refrain: the need for change. The yearning for a return to a time when love outweighed control, and when family meant support rather than submission. Connor's soft plea to his mother, his trembling wish for the restoration of happier days, underscored the painful truth. The cycle of conflict was not confined solely to the realm of adult ambitions and grudges. It was permeating every corner of their lives, touching even the most vulnerable among them. As the mansion stood in the dim glow of the night, the whispers of transformation stirred within each family member. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Thursday, February 13, reveals that Audra Charles and Holden Novak's secret connection will come to light while Billy Abbott sneaks out on Sally Spectra. In Paris, Billy will finally call Phyllis Summers back and ask what's so urgent. Phyllis will give Billy updates on Daniel Romalotti Jr. officially joining their team, but Billy will point out that could have waited until after his trip. After Billy cuts the call short, Nick Newman will pop up and sense that Phyllis is upset about something. Phyllis will admit she's frustrated with Billy, but she'll ultimately suggest there's good news to celebrate regarding Daniel's new job. Once Phyllis spills the details of Billy's media venture, she'll assure Nick that Billy isn't going after Newman revenge. Since Billy typically only cares about himself, Nick will still seem concerned about Billy's agenda. Back in Paris on Thursday's I and R episode, Billy will sneak out of bed once Sally's asleep. Once Billy's in the other room, he'll make a phone call to confirm that funding and staffing have been taken care of. Billy will deliver some instructions to the person on the other end of the line and will seemingly still have payback on his mind. After Billy tells this person to do a deep dive on Chancellor, he'll want to know everything that's happened there since Newman took over. At Crimson Lights, Holden will give Damian Kane a nudge to just leave all this drama behind and go back to Los Angeles. Damian will decide Holden is right, so he'll vow to pack up at the hotel and grab them some food before they leave town. At Nate Hastings' place, he'll talk to Devin Winters and Lily Winters about meeting the real Damian after all the imposter chaos. Although Nate will defend Damian a bit, Lily and Devin will think the whole thing was sketchy. Devin and Lily will get why Nate would want to make excuses for his new half-brother, but Nate will admit he's actually having a hard time processing the fact that they're related. Since Damian was so cold to Amy Lewis, that'll tick Nate off. Lily and Devin will realize Nate's formed a strong bond with Amy, so he'll admit that's true. Nate will point out how he's seen a very caring side of Audra now that she's bonded with Amy too. Although Nate will remain determined to help Amy, Devin and Lily will think he needs to be careful when it comes to Damian. Later, Damian will be picking up some takeout at Society when he literally bumps into Lily and apologizes. Lily will smile and urge Damian to be more careful next time before she steps toward the bar. As Damian gazes in Lily's direction, he'll seem like he's become instantly attracted to her. Back at the coffee house, Audra will cross paths with Holden, so they'll finally have a moment alone to address their secret past. Holden will point out that he knows Audra quite well and will suggest he thought she was a friend. However, Audra will argue that Holden shouldn't make their brief time in lay more than it was. Holden will contend that Audra owes him big time since he helped her out of a jam with her boss. Although Holden will ask about Tucker McCall, Audra will insist she's done with him and that she's a different person now. Audra will just want to focus on Nate and the new life she's built in Genoa City, so Holden will be on the same page about keeping the past buried. Holden will suggest it's Audra's lucky day since he'll be planning on leaving town with Damian. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Damian and Holden's change of plans will cause problems for Audra, so stick with us for more predictions on the drama headed her way.